Okay, hello, good morning. Today we have a question given by Akshara as well. So it is something with to do with quantity times value. So I'm just going to read the question first. Joyce had some $10 notes and $5 notes. The number of $5 notes was 7 out of 2 of the number of $10 notes. After spending 1/3 of her $10 notes and half of her $5 notes, she had $185 left. How much did Joyce spend? So let's practice the best approach. Be mindful. You will explore, you will solve, and then you think about whether your answer needs improvement or is it reasonable enough. So information that is required, you know that there are two types of notes. There are $5 notes and $10 notes. You do not know the exact number of each type of a note, but you do know there's a fraction here. And the other time when we spoke about it in class is when there's a fraction that doesn't have a unit and is in between two items, right? What we can do is to give this 7 units to the $5 notes and this 2 units to the $10 notes. So in your mind, you might be thinking of drawing a model, but this time round, I'm not going to draw a model. Later, I'm going to explain why I choose not to draw a model, all right? So after spending 1/3 of her $10 notes, so let's look at the whole. It is not all the notes. She's talking, this question is 1/3 of her $10 notes and half of her $5 notes. So when they spoke about, when this question speaks about 1/3 and half, you are referring to the different wholes. And you do know that she has $185 left. So question is asking how much did Joyce spend? Okay, now when we have a fraction like this, we tend to draw models. Sometimes you might be drawing models like this, like for example the $5 notes. You'll be drawing 7 units. You'll be drawing 7 units. So that is the first thing that I might do if I'm really not very sure about how to solve it. If you don't have any idea how to solve it, I think you can start by drawing model to make sense of the question. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to draw 2 units to represent the $10 notes. So I would have these $10 notes, 2 units. Okay, then you realize that after spending 1/3 of her $10 notes, but this is only 2 units. So in order to make $10, you might want to try to cut. If I cut it into, so most of you would not be cutting it into half because 1/3, even if you cut it into half for the $10 is 4 units, it's still impossible to get 1/3 out of 4 units. I mean, if you want to shade it neatly, the lowest one that we can cut into will be in 3 parts for each unit. So if I cut it into 3 parts, you would realize that I'm able to do a 1/3 for the $10 notes. So I'm just going to shade here 1/3. This is the amount that was spent, and this is the amount of $10 notes that was left. But after this, when we move on to this second part of a $5 notes, your $5 notes, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units in all, right? So in order to get half, so many of you would have thought that if I have already divided a unit into 3, I might need to divide it as well to make all the parts equal. But even if I make all the parts equal, I would have 21 units. Because 7 units, when I actually break it up into smaller units, I would have 21 units. I would have 6 units here. If I just focus on the $5 notes, right, I still need half, but 21, I will not be able to get half without having a decimal, right? So some of you might be stuck here thinking that, what should I do? So this is the part whereby I mentioned that maybe in this case, right, drawing models, sometimes you might be stuck, but you can always explore to using the other topic that you have learned, whereby it's on ratio. Okay, so I'm going to start by ratio. I have the ratio of $5 notes to $10 notes. So I'm going to do by ratio here. So this is one way of model drawing that you could have tried. but probably we just put it here first. Side by side, I'm going to do the ratio method and show you. My ratio of my $5 notes to my $10 notes will be 7:2. Alright, so what happens after that, right? You know that what you have done here, you have already broken up into 6 parts. So what I'm going to do is to times 3 here. You have the knowledge of equivalent ratio. So you have reached this part without drawing. So now I've reached this part without drawing. I've already successfully tried to use ratio to show this. But remember I told you that we have a problem that we are unable to cut the $5 bar model into half. So what we can do here, 21 cannot be divided by 2 exactly. Alright, so what we can do here is we can times 2 again. When we times 2, we would have 42 is to 12. Now in this way, these are the numbers that you can work with. Okay, let's focus on this, which is the $10 notes. Remember, we wanted 1/3. We wanted 1/3. 1/3 of her $10 notes, she had already spent 1/3 of her $10 notes. So 1/3 of 12 will be 4. This is the amount that is spent, the ratio part that is spent, and you have 8 that is left. Okay, so it's equivalent ratio, using equivalent ratio. Now, then we can go to the second part. It says that half of a $5 notes. So now I'm looking at this. Half of a $5 notes, it would mean that I would have 21 here. I would have 21. 21 parts will be spent, and I would have 21 parts that will be left. Okay, now let's try to focus on the amount that is left, because that is what the value has given. So you know, let's look at the amount that is left, the parts here that is left. We have 2, 21, we have 8. Now I have a total of 21 parts and 8 parts. Now these are not the value of money. These are just the parts that represent the number of notes. So this is when the quantity times value will come. Alright, so this is the quantity, this is the number of the quantity of notes that is left, but it doesn't represent the value. So what we can do is, we could have this 21 parts, we will times this $5, we will have this 8 parts, we will have to times $10. I will be getting, Aiman is not here to give me the answers. So I would have over here 80. Now when I add them together, so I'll just shift up a bit. When I add them together, I will be getting exactly, which I'm very happy because I don't have to find sets. I will have exactly $185, which is what the question gave. So it means that actually I would have 21 notes of $5 left. I would have 8 notes of $10 left. But I'm still trying to get to the answer. How much did Joyce spend? So I know that these are my actual number of notes now. So I will focus on the amount that is spent. So now I will go on to the amount that is spent. I have found left, but I know that this is the right parts that I want. So I'm going to shift up a little to go down. Okay, so now I'm going to focus on, I have 21 of $5 notes spent. I would have 4 parts of $10 spent. So I will be getting 105 here. I will be getting $40 here. So this is the amount that she spent. So what I'm going to do to get my answer, I will just have to add these two values together. It will be 105 plus 40, and then I will get 145. So that will be my answer. How much did Joyce spend? $145. Okay, so if you are watching this, right, keep the questions coming because I will only be in school till after Hari Raya. Keep the questions coming. try to do some self-revision at home. And Akshara, if you are seeing this video, right, do let the other friends in the class know that we have actually this YouTube channel to really answer the questions that sometimes during revision they might not be able to get help at home. Just know that this is really the platform for me to reach out to you and your friends, so that you will not feel that at home there's no one to help you. All right, so I'll see you in 2 to 3 weeks time. Meanwhile, you take care. All right, bye bye.